Hi everybody. I just thought that we needed a bit of a laugh this year because we've all had lots of difficulties. I know some of you have had bereavements and all sorts of difficulties, and we're all pressed in different ways, aren't we, financially and everything. But anyway, I was going to start the ball rolling with some of our funniest memories at Great Cornwall. And quite honestly, I just want to laugh at a lot of them really these days because if I don't mention them all, it's not because I don't remember them, but I don't want it to go on for ages and ages because there's so many. So, I kick the ball rolling with the first week there, with the first class, and I'd been told it was my probationary year as a teacher. So I'd been told to be very, very strict. I mean, really strict, at least for the first term, they said. And then you can relax it a bit. So I went in, put my best poker face on, and went in. And the class might remember I was so strict, I didn't move a muscle. Oh, it was very difficult to be like that, because it wasn't me at all. And you sort of get, we were all nervous about it because I was like a real tarty, Anyway, when it came to the Friday, I was that sort of pent up with holding everything in, and being like that. And I remember James O'Connor came out. I don't know whether you remember it, when we had the reading time on a Friday afternoon. And he just stood there and solemnly he said, can a parrot eat a carrot standing on its head? It was a Spike Milligan one, And I thought, oh no, it's no good. I'm going to absolutely burst forth, and all the pent-up laughing and friendliness I'd wanted to show is going to come out. Well, I started laughing, and I couldn't stop laughing. It was his face and the ridiculousness of what he was saying, but everything pent up as well. And the class was astonished, to see me sort of collapsing in giggles after the way I'd been all week. Anyway, we all started laughing. And after that, I thought, oh, well, I've absolutely had it now as a teacher. I might as well go on the market, I've lost them forever. But anyway, the class was very kind, and they didn't just, run amok with me. We had some very funny times and very enjoyable times, like I did with the second year, And I'm going to try and, I wish I could recall some of them. I'll tell you some that were from my point of view that you might not remember. But I don't know which class this was with, but loads of things spring to mind. But one of them was, one of the many productions that we did. We had some great fun, didn't we, at lunchtime, doing productions for the Vietnamese boat people, I remember, and the old people. Do you remember? And I wanted you all to do your own thing, and I loved it. And you did it. But anyway, this was this production about an Aztec sacrifice or something. I don't know what it was, but anyway, they got the lights on and there was dawn. I think it was an assembly or something. Thank God, I think this was only in the rehearsal that I did this. I hope it was. Anyway, I'm not sure now. But anyway, I had to narrate part of it, and then it was taken over by somebody one of you who was much more efficient than I was. And I said, as the sun slowly rose in the sky, it was dawn, and I was supposed to say, in the distance the drums started beating, but of course I was always getting these beginning of my words mixed up. So I said, and in the distance, very slowly and dramatically, I said, the bums started beating. Oh, well, that was it, because it was a very serious circumstance, and I said bums instead of drums. Well, I don't know whether any of you remember that, but anyway, I do. And I remember other things when I get my words mixed up. My nephews do remember it as well, I mean, it's like now, after I just quit about, I don't speak much about now, but one of the things I've been telling the consultant this week, he said, how's your walking going, after my spine operations? I said, well, it's all right. I'm walking, although I need a Zimmer when I'm out. But I said, it's not flowing, it's like plonk, plonk. When I walk, plonk, plonk. And he said, I always knew you were a bit of a plonker. Anyway, this is just, that's just a by the way, but let's think of other things. I remember one time on a beach somewhere, we used to go to the seaside. We had some lovely days out, didn't we, in the Cutty Sark. Do you remember the Cutty Sark? Oh, I loved every minute of it. And this was on the beach. I can only tell you now because you're grown up. But anyway, we were looking for beach. We were beach combing. I still love that. The best of any holiday, rummaging along the beach. But we can't do it nowadays, can we? Hope, please God, we get back to normal soon, But anyway, we were beach combing somewhere. And some of the boys, I seem to remember little Tony having it somehow. I don't know, so it must have been the first class. And he came up with this thing, and of course, well, I mean, I'm bored now at telling you what it is, even though you were grown up. But it was a condom, actually. I used, how people throw things. It's disgusting, isn't it, really? But and the way they throw the masks in these days. But anyway, that's by the way. He came up with this, and he said, "What's this, miss?" So I looked at it and I just said, oh, it's some sort of fish, just throw it back. Oh, I did laugh inside myself because I thought there's no way I'm going to begin to start explaining. I mean, we didn't talk about things like that, and certainly I wouldn't. I don't think I could now anyway, but I suppose it's the way we've been brought up into ourselves. We don't talk as freely about these things as you do nowadays. But anyway, after a little while I could hear them behind me discussing. I think there was Mark, James and Tony, and they were discussing, I could hear them saying, she really ought to know by now. Do you think we ought to explain to her what it is? So obviously they were more queued up than I was, or just as much queued up anyway, but oh, we had some great times, didn't we? I remember one of the things Donna reminded me of was in some of the I was glancing back over some of the posts we did on our website, on our group thing, Great Cornard Middle School, and Donna reminded me of that time with that poor creature, that little gerbil, that was like bleeding. Oh, it was in a terrible mess in the classroom, and I knew that something had to be done to it. You couldn't leave it suffering like that. So I thought, right, I'm going to have to do it. I can hardly kill a fly, even a wasp. I'd rather let them out, But anyway, as you would, I know, great animal lovers, all of you. And Lisa, goodness. Anyway, so we were. So I took it out, and I thought I better hit it over the head, but I tried to do it, I couldn't do it, and I went screaming, and Mr. Was it Pete Summers came running out wondering what on earth had happened, was there a bomb or a fire or something? I said, I don't think I've killed it properly, there's a poor creature suffering. We had some laughs actually among the teachers, as well. Better not share all them now because I don't know whether they'd like me to or not. But we did have a good time. Thanks. We did have a good time as a staff, as well. We used to enjoy ourselves. A bit too much, I think, sometimes. But anyway, we did. We enjoyed ourselves. But, thinking of other times, you remember the flower game that we used to do? And I remember some of you were, well, quite a number of you were much quicker at maths than I was, so I used to like you to do these things, to supervise them yourselves, But there are so many funny times. Do you remember going into the woods the times when you used to call for me at my house? You know, we'd go down to the river. You know, and we would just like go, didn't we? Just went into the river, you know, never mind. Just enjoyed ourselves, like on that canal trip and that Pete's Dragon film, you know, that was lovely, wasn't it? Trying to go along and click your feet together, you know. But I remember all of you with very great affection. And you were very sweet, really, and you were very kind to me, and we did enjoy ourselves, didn't we? And I just wanted this little short, well, I hope it's short, it's about 10 minutes, to start off. Particularly, I just want us to remember any of the funny things, because I think this Christmas, this time, above all this year, we need to try and remember things that have made us smile in the past, because there's so much in the present we could, well, you know, really, I mean, I won't begin to say it, but you know, don't you? We need to hold on to the things that make us smile, the things that are very human, the things that are warm. And I think we can, I've got so many crowding into my mind now of memories of funny things. I remember Billy once did well, I mustn't say this, I think it was something he wrote, because it was that, you know, that, I can't even remember his name now, a scientist who discovered something, and his discovery thing was Eureka. Well, I think Billy had written Eureka. Because he did actually write some funny things. Mind you, I was hopeless at spelling as well, so... And people nowadays wonder how on earth I did teach maths, because, well, I think actually I ended up swapping with Mr. Roper, because I preferred French to maths, and of course he was a very good teacher at maths. And I went on his motorbike a couple of times and enjoyed that. I used to have a moped, do you remember? And Rob, of course, Rob Guyton, he was great fun, wasn't he? And you'll have had him a lot longer than I was working with him in those days, but I enjoyed it very much. But of course I was on a journey and I had to move on, you know, discovering things. I'm still on a journey, and in fact when people say to me, did you never marry? I said, well, I nearly did twice, you know. I said, they said, well, you're not married then? I said, no, not yet. Because I don't think we're ever too old for anything, are we? So you never know. And we'll keep going. That's the main thing. We keep going, keep smiling, keep laughing. And please post some funny things if you can on here, and try and find out some of the other ones who we're not in touch with, if possible, just so they can put some funny memories on. All right, all the very best to you all. And you're always in my heart and my prayers, you know. And yeah, I just hope you're still the people you were then, as much as you can be, you know, because life does batter us about, doesn't it? But you are to me anyway, and always will be. Okay, all the best.